Hello, hello, beautiful friends. How are you all? I am delighted to see you today on this training about money objections. You guys were posting this week in the group that was the biggest objection that you get when it comes to your sales calls and, objections that you get from clients. So I'm so excited to talk about this because I love talking about money. I love talking about money. I love talking about sales. I love talking about how to have those conversations where it feels really scary or it feels almost like uncomfortable to really hold space for what's actually going on for the other person and be able to do that gracefully and empower people to make the best decision that they can. So I love talking about this. I think it's because I learned from a very young age, not from a very young age, but over the course of the years, I've learned how to have really difficult conversations in my personal life. And I've translated that ability to just confront what is without any charge and just being present with what the other person is feeling and how they're thinking and whatever's going on and really meet them where they're at. And I translated that into my sales process and it's been working amazing. So if you're watching the replay, say hi. Hi, Katie. Oh, wait, Katie's not here. I saw her comments before. So if you're watching the replay, say hi. And if you're watching live, also say hi. Drop me a little wavy little emoji or anything just to make sure that I give you a shout out. And before we start, I want to tell you guys that in case you don't know, the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind is open and is ready to kickstart on September 9th. So this is my 3-month mastermind experience for coaches who want to clarify their message and want to create essentially a process to attract clients and enroll them into their programs and reach 5-figure months consistently, which is what I have been able to do in my own business, is what I've helped my clients do. Some of my clients have reached 100K months. They went from earning $26,000 a year to making their first, consistent 10K months on like literally every single month, so consistently. And then my client Alok went from making about $120,000 to $100,000 in 1 month. So, and of course, I work with clients who are not at $150,000 already, but they are wanting to scale to 5-figure months consistently. And so work with people who are healers, who are sexuality coaches, who are business coaches, branding experts, and I really help them clarify their message and really lock in a system that is going to magnetize high quality clients. And I teach them how to enroll people into their program. So that program is open. We start on September 9th. And if you book your discovery call to see if you're a fit for the program by tomorrow, then you will be able to earn or to win a 90-minute intensive with me so that we can get you started right away and you have time with me to really go deep into your business and really create a plan even before the program starts. We can start helping you get results. So it's a 3-month program, but you get support for 6 months, which is amazing because you get access to the coaching calls for the next round. So you can ask me, you basically can have me as your coach for 6 months. So we're going to really work on messaging, on client attraction, on your copy, and in your sales process, which is like everything has to come together, right? Marketing without sales and sales without marketing, they just don't work. So I'm really going to help you with all of that. So I'm super excited for this. I see some people joining. Say hi. So let's dive into today's topic. So today's topic is all about money objections. And the first thing that I want to get started with, which is, let me just see, because I have it all here. Hi guys, whoever is joining, say hi. So the first thing we want to talk about is, what are you doing in your sales process that is creating money objections at the end, okay? So this is actually before you get the objection. I want to tell you how you can avoid getting to a point where you are getting a money objection. Now, money objections are something that is going to happen even if you have the most perfect sales process. Like I have an amazing sales process and sometimes I still get money objections. So it's going to happen anyway, and it doesn't mean that there's something wrong. It just means that we need to get really present with what's going on for people. So we're going to talk about how to coach people through that. But right now, the first thing that I want to tell you is that money objections actually start you can overcome them even before you get on the phone with people. So how do you do that? This is all about focusing on putting yourselves in the shoes of your client. So when they book a call with you, what is happening between the moment that they book a call with you and the moment that the call is actually happening? And also what happens from the moment that you start the call to the moment that you get to the offer? All of those steps are really important to create a lot of value and position you as somebody who knows their shit and can 100% help people. Okay, so I'll give you a clear example on how do I do this. So in my sales process, I make sure that I have certain systems in place so that I build that level of trust with people, so that once they book a call with me, there are certain things that happen in the process where I create, where I tell them about my results, where I tell them about what I stand for, my values, and some of the things that I know are important for people to make a decision, because we need to empower people to make the best decision they can. So maybe you're thinking that you're getting money objections because maybe your prices are too high, but it's never about the price. Money objections are very rarely about the money itself, like really rarely ever. It's never about the money. It's because people don't see the value in what you're selling. Okay. Hi, Chris. Hi, Katie. How are you guys? Oh, I love you, Chris. Yes, Katie, I'm so excited for you to absorb all of this. So it's really about creating the value before people get on the phone with you, okay? So there's like the moment they book a call, but the moment that they get on the call, you should have something in place in order to create value for people in the meantime. And really, you don't even have to be there telling them anything, but it's something that you can pre-create in order for them to receive that and really get present to the value of what it means to work with you, okay? I teach all of that inside my program, and if you join, you're gonna get literally process laid out, and you can just literally take it and implement it and plug and play in your business. So it's super easy. But if you don't join the program, now you know that it's important to have a process where you're pre-motivating and pre-qualifying people, so that more than anything, pre-motivating them to make an empowered decision, okay? So the second part to this is, as I said, once you get on the phone with people and you start the conversation, it's really, really, really important that you stand in the shoes of their experience. And so the way to do that is to ask really good questions that really take people on a journey to share with you everything with you about what they're going through in terms of what are their challenges, what have they tried before that hasn't worked, what's really going on in their business, what would be the desired vision, the desired result, right? And why do they feel like they're not there yet? How is it impacting their other areas of their life, not just maybe business or not maybe just relationships, but it's always the problem that they have, it's always impacting other areas of life. So I have a sales process that my clients use, and every time that they use it, they literally tell me, oh my God, I just keep getting clients that pay me in full. Literally just happened with my client, Maddie. She's an energy healing coach. And she had been selling like $200 sessions or like $1,000 packages. And she just signed her first $3,000 client paid in full for energy healing. Like she's not selling money, you guys, not selling business. So it's possible for you to have that kind of result, but it's really important that you create value as you do two things. You uncover what's actually going on for people and get really good at asking the right questions in the right order. And then on top of that, actually create value for people on the call. So what do I mean by creating value? That's so fucking broad, right? Whatever. So let me be more specific. So my sales process, I believe that is really all about like whether people work with me or not, I really want to give them some insights into what may be going wrong for them. So I'm not afraid to maybe give a little bit of coaching in between their answers. I've become really comfortable with that. I don't just follow a script. I really feel into what's actually going on for them, and I give them like a little mindset shift. If they're telling me, like yesterday, somebody was like, I need to hire somebody, but I can't remember what the problem was. Let me just remember, because it's a really good example of how I gave coaching. It was like, I feel like, like she's doing everything herself, and she's really afraid to hire somebody to scale her business. And she had this belief that if she outsources things or if she lets go of control things, the quality is going to change and that like people are not going to be happy. And so we talked, I was like, okay, I want to pause here for a second because I'm hearing you say this and I want to give you a different perspective. Because if you have this mentality that if you outsource things, your business is going to break, you're never going to go from $20,000 to, $50,000, which is where she's at. She's at $20K per month and she wants to go to 50 and beyond. And so we talked a little bit about it and I gave her some insights into that very briefly. So I don't want to overwhelm people with too much coaching. I just want to give them insights because I want to create value, because that's how I coach my people. I coach them on these things. So I pause as I'm asking questions to uncover what's going on for them. I pause and I give a little bit of insight. And then I'm like, okay, I just wanted to give you coaching on that. And of course I always ask for permission. I'm like, okay, can I offer some coaching here? And then they give me permission, then they say yes, and then I go ahead and say, here's what I'm seeing, right? And I think this is what may really help you, okay? And so I just give a little bit of insight, and then I continue with my sales process. I continue uncovering what's actually going on for them before I get to the offer, okay? All right, hi Melissa, how are you, love? Hi Ariel, hi Janet. I hope you guys are loving this. Let me know in the comments if this is resonating, and tell me, do you have a pre-motivation like campaign, or do you have a way to pre-motivate people before they get on the phone with you? Say, give me like a yes or a no if you don't have it, and tell me also, like, do you have a sales process in place that really guides people through the journey of really understanding like where they're at, where they want to be, and really uncovering what's actually going on for them? Like, tell me if you have that in place right now before we get to money objections. Ariel, I'm so happy that this is helpful. So Janet says that she doesn't have it. Ariel says I don't. Oh my gosh, you guys, join the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind. I teach you everything in there. It's so good. Literally, my client applied it today, this week, and she got like a paid in full client right away. So. Okay. Hi, Julia. So let me get on with it. So we're talking about what happens before you get to the offer, before the objection, right? So just to summarize it is make sure that you build value and position yourself as an expert, and really share with people like why is it a good decision to hire you? Like that's the pre-motivation campaign that I like to have in place. And then in your sales process, have all like the questions, really connect with people, really uncover what's actually going on for them, and don't be afraid to actually create value for them. I know a lot of people say don't coach. I don't ever coach, like give free coaching sessions ever. I don't give free coaching sessions and then enroll people on the free coaching session. I don't do that. That's not my style. I've tried it. Doesn't feel good. Some people, it really works for some of them. Like one of my coaches applies that and like she kills it with it, and that's what she teaches everyone. So it just depends what you want. But I don't coach on my sales calls because I really want to focus the attention on uncovering what's going on for people. But I do give a couple of insights when something really sticks out and something that can just be like an easy thing to like really reframe. I'm not afraid to create value because people feel like they're gaining a new perspective in something they didn't have before. OMG, what just happened? So now that we've covered what you can do before you get to the objection to create value, let me know if you have any questions on that. Hi, Melissa, I love you. Katie says, I don't, but it's good. It's not good, and then no. Wait, I do, but it's not good. And then no. Oh, okay. So Katie says that you don't, she doesn't have one, but it's not that good. Okay. So you guys, you need to check out the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind. It's so good. My process really works. I have more than 80% conversion rate in my sales. Okay. And it feels really good. Like my sales feel super spacious and super amazing and just feel really graceful. Like even yesterday, the woman was like, oh my God, you literally did that with so much grace. Like, I love your sales process. Like, I want to optimize my sales process to be like yours from the moment that I booked the call. And I've never talked to this woman before. And she was already like, I really want to work with you. So that's what happens when you create that value before even you get on the phone and throughout the call. Okay. So the second thing that I wanted to chat about is what money objections are really about. So what money objections are really about is it's not actually about the money, as I said before, is that people are not seeing the value in your offer, in what you're selling. Okay, whether that is relationships, energy, business, whatever it is, if people have money objections, it's because you're not actually presenting the value of what you offer in a really powerful way. And the way that you do that is a couple of ways, right? Like, it's not just talking about your offer and how good it is. It's all about really understanding where people are at so clearly, like really making it about them first, that by the time that you're presenting your offer, like, you know, before you get the objection, you're linking every part of your offer to their problems and what they need. So if you did a really good job of uncovering everything that's really going on for them, like personally, the patterns that maybe they're stuck in, whether it's business or not, right? You want to understand, like, what are their mindset patterns? What are the things that they're stuck with? And all of that. So by the time that you get to your offer and you present the offer, if you are not doing a good job at linking the parts of your offer that can help people, by the time that you ask for money, they'll be like, I don't have the money. Because they don't actually see how your offer is going to really help them. There are 3 things that people need in order to really pay in full right away. They need to trust you, they need to trust in your offer, and they need to trust in themselves. Like, they have to have all those 3 belief systems, right? You, the offer, and in themselves. If any of those are kind of like shaky, they're going to have objections at the end. Okay? And that's okay if they have objections. Like, when people present the objections is when the sales conversation actually starts, because it's when you have to hold space for whatever's actually coming up for them. Okay? Because you guys, money is a thing that people are funny about. As a society, we're like worried about asking for money, talking about money. All of our money shit is all over the place. So you have to understand that when you ask for money, some people are going to be hell yeah, and some others are going to have some fears and some things, some wounding and some things that you got to know how to hold space for that, right? So it's really all about they're not seeing the value in what you offer and how it can help them, or they don't trust themselves or you. They don't really fully trust you or themselves that they're going to be able to get a result. So that's why it's so important that you cover your bases in sharing with them when you get to the part of sharing your offer. Like, after you ask all the questions and you say, okay, after what you told me in this call, I really believe that I can totally help you. I really believe that. Only if you believe that, make an offer, right? If you don't feel like you can help somebody, don't offer them. Refer them to somebody else who can help. So then you can assure them that you're the right person for them. And then when you get into the offer and when you say, hey, do I have permission to share with you about a couple of ways that we can work together? Then they say yes. Then you can start sharing, well, here's how I work with my clients. First thing that I would do with you is start here. And then, first module of my program. And we talk about this because this is going to help you with this thing that you told me about. So I always link it to whatever problem, but it is really important that you uncover all the questions in the beginning, right? So that's really going to help you understand that, like, build the value, because that's what money is really about. They're saying that they don't have the money because you haven't really created the value for them. If you create if you do a really good job in all of the steps before, by the time that you get to the offer, they're just like, oh yeah, totally, that's going to help me. Oh yeah, I can see that. Oh my God, totally, that's going to help me. Okay, great. And so when you ask for money, they're going to be like, oh yeah, totally see how that's going to help me. Does that make sense? Okay. Katie says, insight, not coaching. Yes, love this. Okay. Yes, give insights. You don't necessarily have to coach people on the call, because coaching kills conversions in my experience. Like, I've coached people on sales calls and it just like, it takes away, coaching is different. Like, it just doesn't work. It really doesn't, it scatters the conversation. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's talk a little bit about how to coach someone through their money objections. That's different than actually giving them coaching on the problem that they came to you for, right? Like, I'm not going to sit on a sales call and like solve everybody's problems on like their marketing, because I can't in a 60-minute call, and like they're going to be confused and they're going to be like, oh, I don't know what I just did. I need to go think about this, because they're going to feel confused, right? But I do know how to coach people through money objections. So here's what I want to tell you. How to coach people through objections is really, I'm going to give you 4 steps, and I wrote it all down. This is part of what I teach in my sales process, okay? So the first thing that you want to do is acknowledge that they have an objection. Don't be like, okay, bye. Sit with it. Be present with what they're saying. Okay, so step one, acknowledge them. So what I would say is like, thank you so much for sharing that with me and being really transparent. I can see how this investment may feel like a big investment in yourself. I can totally see how it may feel expensive, right? So first thing is acknowledge, because if you're not acknowledging people, they're going to feel like, if you're just like, no, it's not expensive, what are you talking about? They don't feel heard. They don't feel like you're on the same page. What we want to do when it comes to coaching people through money objections is two things. One, stand in their world through any objection. Get with them. What's actually going on for them. Don't make it about you. Like what's actually going on in their world, and then empower them to make decisions from their future, which we're going to get into. So step one, acknowledge them. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. I totally understand that it may feel like a big investment. It may sound like it's expensive. I get it. Then the second step is empathize. I love empathy. Empathy is where I use in my marketing, is my style of marketing, of coaching, of everything. Empathy is really the key to so many things, like is the secret to life in my experience. When you empathize with someone's world and you really stand in their shoes, you can get anything. Like you can really get their world in such a different way. You can solve any problems. It's amazing. So the second step is really empathizing. How do you do that? By saying, look, I know what that feels like, because in my own personal experience, I actually just invested $10,000 in a coach, and it was the scariest thing I've ever done. And by the way, if you haven't done it, then you can say like, I totally get it, because, all of my clients come to me, and most of my clients have the same fear, the same fear that they're not going to get their investment back at the beginning. And then once we start working together, they really see the ROI, or they really see the impact in their lives, or they really see the transformation, whatever it is, right? So you want to empathize. I always empathize with my own story, because I have stories where I've invested $55,000 paid in full in myself. It's been scary. So I can feel the fear they may be feeling. I've felt it before, okay? The third step, ask for permission to coach them. So you say, can I ask for your permission to coach you on something? Can I ask you a question? Whatever you want to say. You want to ask for permission to open them into, or to highlight like a different perspective, okay? And then the final step is, the next step after you ask for permission is remind them, okay? What do you remind them of? Everything you talked about in the call, okay? So, hey, look, for the last however many minutes, we've been talking about how you really wanted to like scale your business, have more time, because you're right now struggling with X, Y, Z. And I share with you that the way that we would create this result that you want is by doing X, Y, Z. We have a plan together, right? And you told me that that's really important to you because of these many reasons, because you don't have enough time in your business, because you're feeling burned out, okay? So really, what's actually going on? Because what I'm seeing is that if you don't take action, this is what's going to happen, right? And I've done all of this in my call. All of these things, I'm just reminding them of what we talked about on the call. I'm not kind of coming up with random things here. This is all about your sales process and how clear you are, right? So I'm reminding them of what's actually going on here and asking for their permission to really tell me the last thing, which is what is actually going on for you in terms of your fears, like what's actually there. Because we can create a plan to get you here, from here to there, for you to have your purpose and have a clear plan, have an amazing relationship, whatever it is that you help people with, right? So you would be leaving money on the table, or you would be setting yourself back if you don't move forward with the action. So tell me what's actually really going on. Like what's actually really there for you. You can be super transparent with me. What's the fear that you have that it's not going to work for you? Like tell me a little bit more about that. And you want to just listen, like really listen to whatever's actually going on for them, right? So one of the things that one of my clients I remember said, and she paid in full, even like she only knew me after 2 days, and she like literally signed up with me right away. So one of the things was like, I just don't know if I want to make that big of an investment right now. Like, I just don't know if like, it's just, I don't have the money. Like, and I'm like, okay. and she was like, I need to ask for permission to my partner. I just want to ask, and I just want to see if like we can make it work. And I was like, okay, well, what do you think your partner's going to say? And she was like, well, I think he's going to support me. He always supports me. And I was like, great. So why would you, what is it that you want to ask for permission for? Like, is this something that's been showing up in your life? She's like, oh, yes. Right? So it's like, how is this showing up in their lives? Right? And one of the things that I remember saying to her is like, sometimes we feel like we can't put all bets on ourselves because we're not going to follow through. And that's actually a pattern that she had, that she was like afraid to really go all in. And so I was able to coach her through that, to be with the fear and really coach her and reframe it, which is the final step. Reframe the fear. So the way that I like to do that is really help them break through the pattern of the fear, because if they have a fear that they're gonna invest money in themselves and it's not gonna pay off, this is probably showing up in other areas of their life. So what I do is I tell them, by you taking this action, you're liberating yourself from this pattern. You just told me that you want to create this amazing business, you want to get to this next level, you want to have this amazing whatever, right? But you're afraid of not trusting yourself. If you continue to reinforce this pattern, you're just going to continue living the same way. This is actually the best opportunity for you to start creating a new life, start creating a new, different reality. Do you see that? And I ask them for them to really reflect. Okay, because I want them to come from a really empowered place. I don't want to push them into anything. I want them to see that this is a pattern that's showing up in their lives, if I feel like it really is. So this is where your coaching skills really come into place, and I teach you how to do all of this, and I give you so many different reframes when you're my client and when you join the mastermind. Like, this is all the stuff that my clients are like, how do I handle this? And I've just learned how to create reframes and how to open up new perspectives. But that is a process, okay? So the first step is acknowledge their fear, acknowledge that it may be a big expense, or that it may feel like a lot. Second, empathize with them, that you maybe done it before, your clients feel the same way. Then you ask for permission for some coaching to offer a different perspective. And then the perspective is, look, you remind them of everything that you talked about on the call. And then finally is you reframe that fear as a way to move through their next level and really make decisions from their future self, right? So I'm going to check the comments and see what you guys say. So Julia says, coaching takes the tension away and gives them the false sense that they have enough to be okay. Yeah. When you coach on your sales call, it just takes away the power of like what's actually going on for people. If you're like just coaching them through what you're helping them with, and it just like I found when I tried that like years ago, it just never worked for me. So I don't coach on coaching calls, on sales calls. I offer some insights, but I didn't start doing that until like very recently, because I feel really comfortable with my sales process, right? So forever, I just didn't even do any coaching. I just guided them through the questions and my sales process. And then by the end, when we got to the offer, we started talking about some of their concerns or their objections, whatever those were. And that's when I coach them through their fears, right? So I do any coaching is like when you're actually in like the fear process of maybe they're not ready to step up. I'm really aware of everything that's going on for them before, and I'm able to really help them, like empower them into making a decision based on their future, not on their current circumstances, because we can define ourselves from our past if we want to create our future. We have to look into the future in order to create a new reality. Otherwise, we're going to continue repeating the same patterns over and over again. And that's what I have been able to really master in my sales calls. So this obviously takes practice and guidance, but I wanted to give you those steps. Maybe you can, even if you don't sign up for my program or whatever, you can really practice understanding that people want to be acknowledged first. They need to be heard, and you just want to be with what's actually there for them. What's the fear that's coming up for them, and really holding space for that, for whatever is going on for them, and empower them to break that pattern and remind them that the fear is only something that's keeping them from taking the next step, right? So the last thing that I want to say on that, because we've been on this live for a while and I wanted it to be short, but the last thing that I want to say, a really easy way, I mean, if you're selling things that are business related, and even if you're not selling things that are business related, but the last thing I want to say about creating value is really helping people see if they're really logical, if they're like less tapped into their emotions, that how are all the ways that not taking action is actually going to continue repeating this pattern instead of freeing them their time, their resources in order to really create their next level, right? So for example, I think Jamie Lynn, who she sells, I think OBM services, and she emailed me this morning when she saw the email, and she was like, oh my gosh, I get so many money objections. And so what I would say to someone like her who sells like business management for coaches is really helping coaches see of all the value that they're going to get once all the things that are going to happen once they hire her, right? Because they're going to have more time, they're going to have more energy, they're going to feel more supported, they're going to be able to make more sales, they're going to free up their resources. So it may feel like a big investment right now, but in the long term, that's actually what's going to get them to the next level. And that's what you want to do with whether you sell business coaching or not, or OBM services or relationship services, is really helping them see that the investment that you're making right now, it may feel like a big investment, but in the end of the day, what is actually going to happen in your life when you have the relationship of your dreams, when you're able to talk to your partner about anything and communicate instead of having a fight? Like, what is that going to look like? How much more are you going more energy in your business are you going to have? Just so many things open up, and your job is to really help people see of all, like, what's actually on the other side of the rainbow. Does that make sense? Jamie Lynn, hi, you're here. I just ran late on the call. Thank you for addressing that. Yes, I'm so glad that you're here. And thank you so much for emailing this morning. Yeah, I think that I wanted to actually ask you more questions about it, but essentially, because I want to keep this kind of short, I really want to make sure that you know that the value is created as you help them see what's going to happen once they hire you, like on the other side of the rainbow. Because I think right now people are so stuck in their current pattern. So your client's current pattern is, I'm uncomfortable doing this, but at least I'm like, I have it under control, kind of. Or I'm uncomfortable in here, but I don't want to spend money because I don't know how it's going to look on the other side, and I have control problems, right? So you might have to like coach people through their trust. Maybe they don't trust other people in running their business. Maybe they don't trust that they're actually going to be, this going to free up their time. Maybe they don't trust so many things. So I think it's really talking about like, how can you create a deeper level of trust with you and with them together so that they can really feel at ease investing in that kind of service, right? So for everybody's a little bit different, but really it all comes down to like, do they trust you? Do they trust their services? Do they trust themselves? That's all the three things that people really, really, really need to understand in order to be really ready to pay in full. And as I said, 80% of my clients pay in full. They're dream clients, and I really can tell you this because I literally use this process every single time I do a sales call. Like I'm literally doing it. Even yesterday, I implemented it in like every single day, and so I can tell you that it really works. And it actually empowers people to pay in full, like, because they just want to go all in. When you empower people to step into their next level, they're like literally, this very rarely that a client is like, I'll go for the payment plan. It's like really rare. They're like, I want to go all in, right? Because I remind them like, we're here to put all bets on, like I put all bets on me, right? I decide to put all bets on me, and I empower them to do the same. And that really empowers people to really show up, not just on the call and pay, but really during the coaching. Okay, so much information. But as you know, guys, I just packed all these trainings with so much good stuff. So watch it again, take some notes if you need, and if you have any questions, you can always let me know. The Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind is open. If you book your call by tomorrow, you will get the opportunity, if you get accepted, to have a 90-minute intensive with me. And inside the program, I'm really going to go deep on how can you clarify, elevate the quality of clients you attract, number one, so that you stop attracting people who are broke, because I know a lot of you are. Number two, how to clarify your message so that you're consistently attracting those people. And then the third thing is really understanding your sales process and really refining this. Okay? Like I really help you have everything so smooth and run so smoothly so that your marketing runs really well with your sales. And by the time that people get on the phone with you, they're like, I am obsessed with you. I love everything you put out there. Like you literally speak to my heart, right? So I really help you put all of that together so that you can have all the systems in place, but also be really clear on your offers, on only 2 offers that can get you to 5 figures, because that's what I've been able to have. I don't have like 10 offers like some people, some coaches are like, launch whatever you feel inspired to, launch. And it's not sustainable. Like for me, my style is not sustainable. And the clients that I work with, they're like, I just want to have focus like 1 or 2 offers, my one-on-one in a group program that I can scale consistently. And so what I do is I really help you get clear on what that is and how to launch it and how to do it in a way that's sustainable, so that you're not burning yourself out, you're not hustling, and you're always like, you have a growth plan so you can plan ahead. So anyway, that's what it's all about. Love you guys. If you want to know more about the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind, check the link. I'm going to put it in the comments, or send me a message if you have a question like, is this for me? Let me know. And I would love to have a chat with you. All right. Have an amazing rest of your day. I love you all so much. And I will see you soon. Mwah. Bye.